had a whole house. Now we have nothing.
That was our chimney where Santa comes and now it's gone.
Everything that we built here to just be gone.
Everyone has lost everything here.
I have to start all over again. I can't.
We have fire of Hastings Ranch, multiple structures involved.
Having the family is the most important thing.
If you're on Earth today, you probably must have heard about the California fire outbreak, which most importantly caused the death of a lot of people, including the loss of properties. You know, human life is more important than the properties you can replace. But then God opened my eyes to something that wowed me. And this thing made me conclude that God knows about this. But then, did God cause it? That will be left for you to decide when I go through those elements that God opened my eyes to. And there are fire, water, wind, and earth. You might be wondering, this is a Greek philosophy. They said these elements make up the universe. They are the components of the universe. And then if you're a Christian, you already know that the creator of the universe is God. But then I was blown away when I realized that these things, those four things, were present. And people were mentioning them and we're seeing them all through the course of the videos that have been flying around without them really piecing this together. But I'm surprised I was able to do this. And I'm like, wait a minute. Something has been missing here. But then, stick around and see these elements and see what I'm saying. But before then, let's watch what Mel Gibson said. This is just, his own human thoughts. And then we can go to the spiritual part of it, which is the elements I'm talking about.
I've thought about it since. I thought, oh, damn, that's too bad. But, works of art, photographs, rare books, old books. Some as old as, 1600, like crazy.
Irreplaceable.
And irreplaceable stuff. California has a lot of problems that sort of baffle the mind as far as why they do things. And then in the events like this, you sort of look, well, is it on purpose?
So Mel Gibson mentioned the human aspect of it based on how he understands. But I pray this doesn't put him in trouble. But then let's listen to Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan made a mention of the wind, which is one of the elements, and he didn't even know. That's what scares me.
He goes, dude, one day, he goes, it's just going to be the right wind and fire's going to start in the right place and it's going to burn through LA all the way to the ocean and there's not a thing we can do about it.
Now, you heard him say wind, and I want you to substitute the word luck with grace. It's only the grace of God that has been keeping people in California because it's all about the wind and then catastrophe happens. And please, if you have a check mark for me, please, can you please check off the wind as one of the elements I mentioned earlier? Because even in the Bible, it's something you cannot control. The wind blows where it wishes, and you hear its sound, but you do not know where it is coming from or where it's going. And this brings me to the next one, fire.
And the acceptance speeches have been on fire.
I'm sure a lot of people missed that part. They saw the joke. They didn't see the first thing she said before making the joke. And that was the acceptance speech being on fire. And then she made the mock of God. People don't really understand the power of what they say or what they have in their hearts. When it comes to what you have in your hearts, it will show up on the later part of the video. But what you say and what you have in your hearts. Let me use an example. There was a time I was going to work. I was late to work and I was worried about my manager. And then I was wondering, thoughts came into my heart like, I wish my manager was late so she wouldn't know I'm late, okay? And I believe the devil put it in my heart. And I accepted it. I was like, what if her car breaks down so she comes to work late? And then I'll get to work before her so she doesn't know I'm late. And just a few minutes after thinking about it, my car broke down. And I was blessed enough for God to help me understand my thoughts and what happened to me. Because these things happen to us, but we don't know. And immediately I realized that unconsciously I asked for forgiveness right there in a broken vehicle. And I'm not going to tell you how the vehicle came back normal again, but it took me nothing. And I went to work with that same vehicle because it got fixed, like without much effort. So it got to me, like I learned a lesson from there. Mind what you think and what you say. They're powerful. Let's continue with what she was doing.
Cast and crew are leading the way with 11 mentions. Moms are holding strong with 3 shout-outs. God, creator of the universe, 0 mentions. And Mario Lopez, host of Access Hollywood, 1.
And people were laughing.
Will be
mocking God.
popular.
And of course, you know what happened after all this. A few days later, all hell broke loose. But then just check off fire, okay? If you still have a checklist for me, check off fire, and then let's move on to the next one, which is water. And if you like content like this, please, this is a new YouTube channel. It would be nice if you hit the subscription, hit the notification bell, and you'll be notified each time I upload things like this. The idea for this is just for us to get better and even come closer to God, okay? And doing this would help the algorithm, making more people to see these videos, and also help me as well. Thank you very much. I appreciate you. Do it. Now let's go to the next element, which is water. You'll be blown away. So the interviewer is actually, I would say he was sent by God. He was doing his thing, you know, interviewing people after the burns, after the property got burnt. But he didn't know he was helping me to complete the puzzle of those 4 elements. And that's what I'm about to show you.
It was much worse. Be up there. It's terrible up there, actually. Ashes all over my car, everything.
What would fix the fire problem really quick? Any idea?
I'm not sure.
I don't really know the answer.
What about rain?
I didn't think about that.
Rain would certainly help.
Rain, yes, definitely, yes.
Who's in charge of the rain?
Oh, I don't know. God, I guess.
So here's the problem. This brings us to that 3rd element, which is water, and that comes as rain. But the problem with the last man is the problem with a lot of us. Like, he knows that this is needed, but he still doesn't want to acknowledge God, you know, as being in control of everything. And that's the problem we have. Even when God brings miracles to us, we still see it as coincidence. And that's painful. Like, if God helps you out, instead of you to just acknowledge, hey, God, thank you for doing this, we just want to find a reason, a cause, or trying to piece things together, instead of just saying, thank God. It's simple. So please check off the water and let's move on.
Why do you think he's withholding rain from Hollywood at the moment?
I'm not sure. I don't know God's plans.
Do you think God is judging Hollywood?
I've had that thought, and I'm not too sure, though. Absolutely.
Do you think God is happy with Hollywood?
No, but I don't think it's just Hollywood.
You told us.
Now, that is where God's hands was made even stronger. And that brings me to the point where proves that God actually looks at our hearts. And I'll show you that as soon as I'm done with this particular video.
Yvette said that this guy's house was touched by God.
It had to be, because it sure didn't burn.
But if his house is touched by God, what happened to the rest of the neighborhood?
God didn't care about us. There it shows it right now. But I'm going to let this go, and I'm going to close my gate, and I'm going to get out of here, because it's just making me sick.
So this guy, I'm not going to judge him because he's going through pains. But there are people who are ordinarily in their hearts, even without any pain, they mean evil all day. But then this next man shows how pure his heart is. And trust me, God doesn't look at the outward appearance. He searches the heart.
Be crying because my entire block is burnt down. But God saved my house. Why are all of my neighbors? Why are they? And then in the middle of 2 burnt down blocks, there's 1 house standing, and that's mine. I shouldn't be crying.
2 burned down blocks, and my house is the only one standing. And you think it's a coincidence, right? His heart showed me something in the Bible, and that tells me why his house is still standing. I, the Lord, search the heart and test the mind, to give every man according to his ways, according to the fruit of his deeds. Remember when I told you I thought about evil for my manager? not necessarily wanting to do it, but the mind, I had it in my mind, like, just like that. The Lord God will circumcise your hearts and the hearts of your descendants to love the Lord your God with all your hearts and all your soul, so that you may live. So that is exactly what happened to this man. He lived. And the evidence is his house. So guys, let's circumcise our hearts. And you might be asking, what is the fourth element? And the fourth element is California, and that's the earth. Yeah, it's all completed. Check it off. So remember to subscribe to my channel and click the like button and notification bell so you can see more videos. Okay? Peace.